Good morning, good morning. Thank you for waking up with happiness. We come together to grow mind, body, and spirit so we can turn and make the world a brighter and sweeter place for ourselves and for others. Cheers. I've got my little happy little Valentine's Day cup, and it says, one of them says, I love you, and the other one says, love you more. Well, it's just to me. I love me, and I love me more. That's who I'm having my Valentine's Day coffee with. And you know, it's funny. I know a lot of people that get kind of sad around Valentine's Day. Like, maybe guys probably don't. I don't know, but like girls that don't have a significant other and everybody else is having a Valentine. But I don't look at Valentine's like that. I look at anything with a heart on it. I think about love, and I think about kindness, and I think about goodness. And so I can love people whether I'm in a relationship or not. But, you know, it's so fitting, though, that I say something a little bit about Hugh. So our title today is The Spirit of Me. And it's based on the fact that, I don't know if you know or not, but so much of the world, we separate everything into the sacred and the secular. And I don't believe in saying it only is business, it's just business. It's not. My life is my life, and it's the whole sum of all the things that make me. And the thing that makes me the most viable, the most creative, the most everything is the spirit in me. It's that God's spirit living in me that I allow to bring forth my light. And when we start talking about things, I know it sounds kind of woo-woo and stuff like that, but I love what somebody says. They says it took, creation took 6 days, but creating ourselves and working on us, it's going to take a lot longer than 6 days. It's probably going to take a lifetime. And I want to say something about my sweet husband. Hugh Smith was the most amazing man I've ever met in my life. So I think it's very honoring that I talk about him this week of Valentine's. And he was kind and loving, sincere, honorable, honest, all those things. And he did not separate the sacred from the secular. He did not. He thought it was all sacred. He thought it was all sacred. It was all spirit. And that's why so many times I said he was way more spirit than he was man. And that's why he's such a good husband. He was such a good husband. He would come home after a meeting, and I think I've told you this story before, but I'm going to tell you again because it's so important. And I'm thinking about it in my own life right now because I'm struggling with something that happened to me last week, and I've been trying to reckon with it and not let it get up in my head and deal with it in a spiritual way, in a kind and loving way to myself and to others. So my husband, if he came home from a meeting and he felt like he'd said something inappropriate or he did anything at all to make someone feel less than, he would call that person up and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I should not have said such and such. That was not the loving, kind thing to do. And I think so many times we in this world, we're thinking about me, and what's in it for me and how can I get it for me. And when the truth of the matter is, if we learn to live in this beautiful spiritual love energy and this light within us and treat the world the same, things will work out lovely. It's when we try to get in there and circumvent and move things around and shift things around that they get kind of messed up. I know that I've said this before, and is it when Hugh and I were married, everything that we did was about spirit. It was about spirit. If we had a question or a problem, he would say, let's take it, let's think about it. Let's think about it and let's pray about it together, and let's let God be at the forefront. And I'm going to tell you one more thing that Hugh told me when we started dating that I thought was kind of cool. I mean, most women would not think it's cool, but me coming from an alcoholic family where people lose their lives to alcoholism and drug addiction, and people lose their sanity to drug addiction and alcoholism, when we started dating and really got into dating, he said to me, he said, listen, I got to tell you, you will never be number one. That sounds so good, doesn't it? But he said to me, he said, my relationship with God, as I see him, as I understand him, is the most important thing in my life. It will not become before you. I mean, it will not come after you. It will not come after money. It will not come after anything. So everything that we did in our life resonated from spirit. Now, y'all, every time I've gotten away from that, I've gotten it wrong. I have gotten it wrong. I'm telling you right now. So the Quakers believed that everything was sacred. They didn't believe in separate the sacred and the secular. And I love this. Let me see if I can get this. It said that it says that Quakers are members of the Religious Society of Friends are a perfect example of individuals who manage the delicate balance of living in the world but not belonging to it. This is because they refuse to segment their lives into the sacred and the secular. Instead, Quakers believe that all life's daily experiences are spiritual in nature, from preparing a family meal to protesting political policy. And it said the British writer George Gorman observed that the essence of Quaker spirituality is certainly that everything we do has spiritual significance. Everything we do. So y'all, in dealing with this thing that I've been dealing with since last week, with something unkind that someone said, totally unkind. And there was no, but yes, it was directed at me, but guess what? I don't know what that person's going through. I don't know. And I don't want to make it bigger than it was, or worse than it was, or less than it was. So I've got to decide what to do with it. But in deciding what to do with it, I've got to do it in a spiritual and kind and loving energy. So our affirmation today is the spirit of me. So if you are not with a significant loved one right now for Valentine's Day, reach out to somebody that's lonely or scared, or reach out to someone. Make it be spiritual in nature for you, but not in a romantic kind of way, but in a way that you just reach out and love people. Love people. So here we go. And we may talk about the Super Bowl for a minute before I go, because we had so much fun doing that. Okay. Here we go. The spirit of me. Before I do anything, I pause and nourish my spirit. There is no demarcation between secular and spirit. It is all spirit. Living in a state of loving gratitude, living in a perpetual state of loving kindness, I find inner light and inner nourishment that the world has no power to diminish. I create an authentic life based on the spirit of me. That is the essence of me. That spirit is non-negotiable. That spirit in me makes decisions based on the principle of love and kindness. Every choice, every day, I choose the spirit of me. And so it is. So guess what? You're given a fresh canvas every 24 hours. Fresh canvas to live a beautiful, loving, kind, joyful life. Don't try to separate the sacred and the secular, because there is no separation. It's all spiritual. It's all kindness. It's all love. And when you don't do that, just rewind and apologize and get back to that loving, spiritual, amazing being you are. I miss you, Hugh Smith. I miss you lots. But you know what's so cool? None of the principles, none of the love, none of the things he taught me went with him. They all stayed with me. And a lot of you too. Peace and meat, y'all. Bye.